talking about how to do effective service and how to make our community engagement more effective and sustainable for the people that we are helping. So the reason that I'm interested in this type of service and talking about these types of issues is because of the work that I have done in the past with my internship in DC, where I worked with the homeless population and really talking about the causes and the structures that really continue and keep people in the homeless situations. Another reason is because of my anthropology classes and my paideia class, where we really talk about interdisciplinary studying, how the relationships that we make while mentoring and while serving communities directly really connect to the structural issues that are going on to keep people in poverty and to keep people in the places that they are. So my example today is going to be about food, because everybody loves food. And so it's typically about food drives. And so with this little can of tasty classics chicken noodle soup, we can give that to a food drive, and we will be supplying one person with 120 calories, which will probably keep them not hungry for 3 hours, right? But in a way, this actually just creates a system where we feel like we made a difference by giving this can of food, but in reality, we actually didn't create any change. We just put a band-aid on the problem. We just affected immediate need, which is important in a lot of ways. But we need to think past this can of food in order to actually make a change and to why these people are hungry. In Austin, the living wage is $7.13 for one person for a household. So if it's just you living by yourself, working 40 hours a week, working a minimum wage job that pays $7.25, then you actually can sustain yourself. But if you just add one child into that mix, the living wage actually goes up to $13. So you will almost have to double your minimum wage salary in order to provide for your family. And so this is a huge problem in the United States, and we could actually end 10 million people in homelessness if we could actually get a living wage for people, because many citizens in the United States can't actually afford to pay for their housing because they don't make a living wage. So when we advocate for those things, we're not only advocating for people to be able to buy their own food and to buy these own tasty chicken noodles, but to actually be able to live on their own and support their own families. And someone working 40 hours a week should not be living on welfare, should not be giving government paychecks. And a living wage also helps communities be more healthy. It ends a lot of the crime rates because people actually have the things that they want and the things that they need because they can't afford them. And so a living wage goes a long way to make a healthier community and also a healthier population. So this is one of the things that we can really fight for. And some of the programs that people actually do to fight for economic justice is partner with businesses and workers to show businesses how they can actually have a profitable business model while still providing a living wage to people. And this is really important because there is a sustainable way for workers to receive a living wage while businesses are still growing and booming, which is a really, really great thing to be supporting. So that's one way that you can get involved as a student, is to advocate for these types of programs. The way that we can move past this model is to do something like the Urban Roots organization does in Austin. Their organization actually teaches people a different way to live and a different way to produce food instead of consuming. So the program actually teaches people how to garden and how to create sustainable ways of producing. So it's a really interesting way to actually teach people to live differently and in a more sustainable model than just putting a band-aid on an issue or continuing to consume things that are actually hurting our bodies. So in conclusion, thank you for going out into the community and trying to make a difference. But we need to really push past these types of Saturday services that we tend to do as students and really look at the structure that is affecting the people in our community. We need to really think more broadly and more about the big picture of what is occurring right now to keep people in hunger, to keep people homeless, and to keep people in poverty. That way, one day, there actually might not need to be these types of Saturday service events. So, I challenge you to reflect on what kind of service you are doing right now and try to add something that tries to affect the systematic and political level of what's going on with the service that you're already involved in. And so the next 2 blocks will actually be talking to students who are doing this relationship building, this really great engagement with the community while engaging with these systematic problems that are actually occurring to affect that community that they're serving. So thank you for watching our vlog from the Office of Civic Engagement. If we can change the way that we think about service, and if we can change the way we think about community involvement, we can change the way that we actually engage with the community. So let's go out and let's make a difference. 1, 2, 3, 4.